guys, and welcome to today's show where we'll be hanging out with the band The River Rats and its members, which include
Francisco Mesa,
Roland Rojas,
Marco Rod,
Jed Ringel.
All right, so guys, one thing I noticed is that your music definitely has a lot of versatility to it. Why not stick to one style of music like most mainstream artists?
The thing is that we all like different music, and then we play in the ska scene, but we're not gigantic fans of ska. Like we kind of fell into that scene. So as we fell into that scene, we started mixing what we like and plus ska, and then and as time went on, it was just it was hard for us to settle on like what we wanted to do because everyone wanted to do something different. Like if it was up to Marco, it would be a hardcore band. If it was up to me, it would be like an indie band. If it was up to fucking Frankie, it would be a polka band. So, you know.
I love polka. So.
You like polka?
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of polka. You know, that's where Mexican music originated from. So that I love the bass. So yeah, so just incorporating all the like different styles of music that we like because we grew up in Southern California. There's a lot of different genres that we grew up on. You know, so that's cool. Hip hop and all that kind of stuff.
And then we feel that I don't know, like nowadays kids, they're more open to like different styles of music, like you know, because music is more available to them than it used to be back in the day, you know. Like,
Oh, okay.
if someone was a metalhead, they would just like metal, but they would just buy CDs of like metal CDs, you know. And now you can just go online and like that one song from a certain band or a certain group, and then
Oh, okay. People are more versatile now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More open-minded to different styles of music. Nowadays, you ask somebody what kind of music you like, everybody says everything. So,
Right.
you know, when you like our band is kind of like everything rock. Like, you know, it's a big mix of everything that we like. As long as we like it, we're definite. You know, we're down to push it out, and you know.
Okay. So my favorite song of theirs has to be She's a Creeper. If you haven't checked it out, it's definitely a must check out. I just think you guys completely murdered it on that song, and it left me wondering, who is the girl, and what do you mean by she's a creeper?
There's no. It's not. It's like more of a metaphor. It's not a girl exactly.
Oh, it's not a specific girl?
It's bad vices. You know. We call it She's a Creeper because there used to be a band called She's a Creeper that we would play a lot with. And when I asked them, I was like, "Why are you guys called She's a Creeper?" And they said we're called She's a Creeper because of women and drugs. You know, because they creep up on you.
Oh, okay.
You know,
The party life.
the party life and all that, it creeps up on you. And
Yeah.
so then I wrote that song about like bad vices that we were kind of starting to have at a certain point in the writing of Hangover Blues.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's not really a person, it's more of a thing.
Another really great song of theirs is Nectar. It just has a really groovy-licious beat that makes me want to dance inside of a lava lamp like this. Do something like that. How did you guys come up with such a funkadelic beat?
That song started off. I recorded it like 4 years ago, maybe. So it's not like something new. And it started off just as a joke, kind of. I recorded the music, and then Roland did the vocals on it. And we didn't do nothing with it. It was just sitting on the computer for 4 years, or whatever, however many, 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And then, like in, I think 2011, that's when I did it. And I was just like focused on sounding as funky as I could. Like I was trying to pretend that I was in the 70s. Like what would I be making? Like what kind of riffs? What kind of like, how funky could I be? You know, to like.
You got really funky on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I was trying to make it as funky as possible, and then it just started off as a joke, kind of, and then it just turned into something we liked, and then we didn't do nothing with it for a long time, and then this acoustic album that we just released, we just decided to put it on there just because. So
Just because. So you played around with it.
We've never even played it live. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah. So
I feel like I should dance under a full moon to it or something because of like it's so wavy type of thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's good that you finally got it out of the computer then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get a little philosophical here for a second. Tell me, guys, do you ever feel like sometimes life can be on some bullshit?
Yeah. All the time, because for us, all of us have crazy schedules. We're trying to do both at the same time, make money and do the band. So it's just kind of it gets tough doing that, but we make it work.
Okay.
To the the best we can. So
Yeah. Because, like, the other reason I ask is because the other day I had one thing happen, and I was like, damn, and then this just happened, and then that just happened, and this is going to happen. And it got me thinking, I'm like, you know what, life? You can really be on some bullshit sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was alone in that or...
Not at all.
Not at all? No? Okay.
No.
So let's get back to the music. Your latest album, Soft Songs for Hard People, in my opinion, had a lot more musical depth than your previous albums. Is it just that you guys took a different direction this time around, or is it more that you've just grown as artists?
I think it's that we grew as artists individually too, because now Roland's writing a lot of the music. Before it used to be a lot just me and Jed and Frankie. A lot of the acoustic album, Roland wrote most of it, and they put it together. So actually for me, I was kind of new on that because they were writing that whole record. And I was in the process of moving. So, back to that Life's on that bullshit. I was going through a lot of shit when they were writing that record. So they finished it, and it was right in New Year's. That was my first session, New Year's of this year. I went to Jed's house. That was the first day of New Year's we spent it recording. And that's when the first time I actually heard the record. So definitely we grew as artists because before we weren't doing that kind of stuff. If Roland and Jed didn't step up and do that kind of record, I wouldn't have stepped up and did what I did on that record. Same thing with Frankie. Because all the other records have always been different, And this one was kind of like, it's us, but like, I guess through more of like how Roland would want to portray his music, but still putting our real rats in it. And I think that's what you felt when you hear it now. It's so powerful because it's the band. It's who we are. It's not just Roland. It's, even the little things that I did.
Oh, okay, I see.
Made the record what it is. So everybody grew. Everybody did something different for that record.
It had a lot more layers to it, I feel.
Yeah, we did do a lot of things that we usually don't do. As far as the writing went, it was different than how we usually do it. And so we did all the recordings at Jed's house. And so we had to work with what we have. So we did all the recordings ourselves. We had it like, if we wrote a song and we felt it sounded empty, we were like, well, let's put keys in it. And we never used keyboards before,
Oh, I see. So you went a lot more exploring this
Yeah,
time
so
around.
we did a lot more exploring to like fill things in that we didn't, because we're so used to writing heavy stuff,
Oh,
and
okay, I
so
see.
that usually fills itself up. But when you write something like simple, you're like, oh, it's the melody's catchy and the guitar is cool, but there's still something missing. So we added a whole bunch of like, we explored a lot to like add things to it that we usually never do.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it in the album.
Yeah. Another thing we did with that album is that we recorded like kind of backwards from what we usually do. And it's instead of doing the drums first when we record, we did guitar and we recorded with the metronome. So I would put my bass tracks on top of a guitar, and then eventually we did the drums last. So it has a whole different feel to me. Like that's what I noticed the most.
So one thing we are told on almost a daily basis is if you don't have the latest smartphone, there's really no way to be cool. So what party tip would you guys give to someone that maybe has, I don't know, an iPhone 5 or an iPhone 4, and they have to go to a party and send out a text? I mean, should they hide in the bathroom or just not go to the party at all?
We would not give a fuck.
I know. I take my iPad and I text with that at parties as long as there's free Wi-Fi. Like I just connect, You
Yeah.
just text, so it's all good. No
But I mean,
biggie.
if they don't have
And
the
it's an old iPod, so I mean, iPad, yeah, one of those.
Yeah, sometimes we don't have service and we can only like text when we have Wi-Fi, so we rarely bust out our phones anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then again, we all probably have like
But we have good phones.
Yeah.
So.
You're all like, wait, that's not us.
yeah,
We're
never
not one of
mind.
those
Yeah,
people.
we have good phones.
No, you know what? Honestly, no. Who cares? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
It
Fuck
doesn't
that.
matter.
Yeah, if someone's gonna judge you on that, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
I don't know why you would even be there.
Don't judge. Don't judge my phone, all right? all
I
I
like that.
Yep.
I like that. Okay, so final question. What would you guys say is your craziest mosh pit experience? Because I'm sure you guys have been to a lot of shows.
For our band, I think any pit. As long as I see a pit, it gives me this kind of energy. So as soon as you see like a bunch of people in the pit, like a circle pit specifically, please.
What's the craziest one?
The craziest one, or it's just fights, I guess. There's a lot of fights. There's always a fight, so that's always like a big. It'll stop the song, or if it gets crazy. But we don't condone fights at our shows. People handle the pit. You get in the pit, take that shit.
Oh, once?
Oh,
Or I don't know.
Jed fell off the stage.
Oh.
That counts. That shit counts.
You fell off the stage?
In Mexico, I don't know I forgot what city. Was it Mexico City?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played like a weird.
It was a school.
It was like a school, but for some reason the stage was like as tall as like this ceiling right here. It was like
Oh, wow.
that's where the stage
Like a
was.
little house and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's where you fell off of?
Yeah, and I fell off. I fell on some girl that was all drunk, passed
Oh
out.
my god.
With my guitar, everything, and she didn't know what was going on.
He came back and finished the set.
And they lifted me back up, and I kept playing, but that was crazy. She didn't even know what happened. She was just like wasted. So she was like looking at me all confused. And
It was raining men.
yeah.
Hallelujah. That night it rained men for them.
Yeah, sounds very rock and roll. Okay, well, that wraps up our interview for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. And thank you guys at home for watching. Be sure to check out the latest on River Rats at riverrats.com, as well as follow them at River Rats. That's with River Rats with 2 T's. I remember, kids. Stay funk forever.